So then the question is, well, how do you become still? So Madame Guyon said anybody can do it. Teresa of Avila said anyone can do it. Miguel Molino said anyone can do it. And the others, I'm sure, they said the same thing. Anyone can do it. In other words, you don't have to have studied. You don't have to have a master's degree in theology. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to belong to a certain religion. You don't have to do anything. You just learn to sit quietly in a special way. Now, what is that special way? Well, God said, be still and know that I am God. When you're still, you will know that God is God. Now, how do you do that? Well, it's very simple. The mechanism is you separate your consciousness from your imagination. See, most people are lost in their imagination and their thoughts. And they're so identified with their thoughts and their imagination that they forget how to stand back. Now, when you were a little child, before you were upset, see, the other thing is upset. Upset pulls you down. See, the soul is supposed to sit, I was going to use the word lofty, but the soul is supposed to sit upon the throne of the mind. Well, maybe I should say it a different way. The soul is supposed to the consciousness, the awareness, surveys everything, looks over everything, like a general in the grandstand looking over the army parading by. The soul doesn't jump down off of the grandstand and rush out and get in the line with all the other soldiers. The general stands and observes. He's the observer. He watches. That's what the soul is supposed to do. Watch, observe with patience. Okay? And the soul realizing that it can't do anything. See, there are some profound realizations that go along with this ability to do this. And one of them is, but luckily you can start without the realization. After you start, then the realization will come, and you'll realize that of yourself you can do nothing. But the soul, if it can grasp that very basic thing, of myself I can do nothing. And then just observe. See? And if you see something wrong with yourself, then just see it. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to change it. Don't try to suppress it. Just see it. That's all. If you see somebody making a mistake, then don't judge them. Just see it. If you see something that's nice, then don't say, oh, isn't that nice? And I am so clever, I can see that that's nice. No, that's another ego trip. Just see it. If somebody did a good job, just see it. If they didn't do a good job, just see it. You're like the observer, like a tourist. I always give the example of being a tourist. You know, when you're a tourist and you walk around and you see all kinds of interesting things, people and beautiful scenery and interesting food and sights. You see the sights, okay? No, just be a tourist, like a tourist. And the way to do that is a very simple way, and that is to use the little meditation that I have. It helps you to separate from thought, so you're not lost in thought. So does that mean that you try to blank thought? No. Do you try to control thought? No. You try to change your thought? No. You just observe it, that's all. Just see it. So how do you do that? Well, you sit quietly, close your eyes, look at the inside of your eyelids. See the little pixels of light, little patterns of light, little glow of light. Just watch. Look at the inside of your eyelids, like the inside of your eyelids was a big TV screen. What do they call that? A widescreen, or what do they call that people have now? So it's dark, but it's not completely black. There's little pixels of light on it. Just look at that. Just look at that. It's little pixels of light. And at the same time, be aware of your hands. Your hand by your side or in your lap, or both hands if you like. Just be aware of your hands. Notice your hands with your eyes closed. Notice your hand until your hand begins to tingle a little bit while you're looking at the inside of your eyelids. And an easy way to be aware of your hand is to focus, but not with energy, just gently. Notice, there's the word, notice, one finger at a time. So your eyes are closed, you're looking at the inside of your eyelids, you see the pattern of light on your big screen TV, the inside of your eyelids. And then you become aware of your thumb. Just notice your thumb. Feel your thumb. Be aware of your thumb. Feel the blood flowing into your thumb as it tingles a little bit. Then shift your awareness to your first finger. Notice your first finger until it begins to tingle a little bit. And do that with each finger in turn. See, that helps to bring you to the present. So now you're in the present. You're not lost in the imagination. You're observing the little pixels of light. So that's a little exercise right there. You do that in the morning, at noon, and maybe in the evening, and maybe at other times during the day if you have a couple of spare minutes. And that's how you learn to be still. So you're still with your soul. You're still with your consciousness. You're still with your awareness. Your thoughts are still doing whatever they do and pulling and on you, and one thing comes to that. No sooner are you sitting there looking at the inside of your eyelids and seeing little pixels of light and aware of your hand, feel it tingling in a nice warm way, full of blood. Feel the blood flowing into your hand. And then you feel a bit of peace, don't you? Well, but you know what's going to happen. Thoughts are going to come along. What you're going to do, where you're going to go, what you did. Just who knows what it is. It can be the most trivial thing. Or it can be what you have to do. It could be anything. So there it is. So you just notice that the thought came and tried to pull you away from the present. You just notice it. Just gently notice it. Then return your attention to the TV screen at the inside of your eyelids. And awareness of your hand, that's all. See how simple that is? But do you see how that separates your consciousness from the stream of thought? That's all you have to do. But when you are sitting there quietly, when you're sitting still like that, see, you are actually, you're closer to God, let's put it that way. And those little patterns of light, little pixels of light that you see are actually spiritual light. You're actually observing spiritual light in your mind. And that spiritual light is good for you, good for your soul, good for your body, good for your mind. Okay? And the light is always there, but it's nice to see it's there. And nice, so you find peace apart from your rabid imagination. Peace apart from the corruption that's got in. Peace apart from, see, peace for your soul.